I was sexually abused as a kid, oppressed for many years, and God healed me. I used to throw up a lot. I thought it was just maybe because I had typical anxiousness, nervousness. I stuttered. It made me even more nervous, more anxious. In the morning before school, during school, after school, I would just throw up. I was always so nervous to let anyone in and know what was going on. I always kept a little to-go container underneath my driver's seat, throw up in the Tupperware and walk on in and act like nothing was wrong. So I kind of would just try to make everyone laugh, make everyone smile, try to be the life of the party. I think it was my way of just kind of tricking myself that none of that stuff was going on. But college is when my throwing up and that got to be its all-time peak. Walking to every class, I'd be throwing up in the bushes. I stopped going to classes. It was at that time too where I started smoking a lot of marijuana to just try and forget. So I got an intern job at a local church, leading worship. Sunday mornings were always by far the worst. I'd wake up at 3 or 4 a.m., dry heaving, throwing up anything I had left in my system where I could kind of hold it together while I could go up on stage and lead worship. That was kind of the breaking point. Because I still lived at home, it became harder to hide it. My mom would stand outside the bathroom door in the morning and kind of hear me throwing up. That was kind of when I finally started to let her know exactly how bad it was and what I had been dealing with for as long as I had. My mom spent every waking moment to try and figure out what was going on. She took me to every doctor in town, an ENT, a GI doctor, naturopath. I had an endoscopy done, did a barium swallow test, brat diet, beans, rice, applesauce, and toast is all I ate for 9 months. All came back with flying colors, so we were kind of at a loss of what to do next. My mom went to church one morning with a good friend of hers. There was someone talking about spiritual warfare. The gal that she had gone with to church that day, her son experienced similar things to what I had dealt with as far as being very anxious. He went and spoke with someone who felt gifted and called in the spiritual warfare area, and it really helped her son a lot. My mom kept pushing and pushing. I told her I'd go, mostly just out of love and respect for her, so she would stop asking me to go. The person who had helped a friend of hers, his name was Marion. My mom and dad and I all drove down to Lebanon, Oregon. Grass seed farmer. He had talked to several thousand people over the years. He listened to my story and telling him I went to all the doctors and things, and he said, okay, well, there's nothing wrong with your mind. There's nothing wrong with your body. You must have something wrong with your spirit. He said about 95% of the time, people that are experiencing symptoms like you, they have been sexually abused in the past. I told Marion straight up, I said, well, I'm in that 5% group because I know I'd never been sexually abused. When you've been sexually abused in the past, you can get spiritually oppressed. Explain to us that there's a person called a strong man, and the strong man is the demon who is oppressing you. He said the strong man is the name of the person who abused you. A lot of times people will pray over something or cast out demons or spirits, but those spirits kind of go dormant for a little while, but the strong man stays. He wanted to try and figure out who it was that sexually abused me. Because of something that I had said to him, he felt like he knew pretty well what the age group was that I had been abused at, somewhere between the ages of 2 to 5. Said he wanted to talk to little Eric. He explained that he just wanted me to answer subconsciously, just close my eyes and respond with the first word that popped into my head. Marion goes, are you a friend? And I say, no. Are you a neighbor? No. Are you a teacher? Are you a babysitter? Are you a pastor? I started weeping, started sobbing uncontrollably. And I knew right then and there that it was a pastor. There were 3 pastors Tim, Aaron, and Ron. When we were talking about that and Marion had asked me if the strong man's name's Tim, I said yes, but I answered with a double negative. Marion caught on pretty quickly and he said, "You're not going to trick us today." The strong man was trying to make him the scapegoat. And my dad was really heavily involved in the worship team, so I was always around. He took me to practice and I used to run around that building. My dad explains that Aaron, the guy he knew well and played worship music with, had a rough childhood. He was abused as a kid by his dad. He up and left his family and followed some young 18-year-old gal down to Las Vegas. Kind of came to the conclusion that I was sexually abused by Aaron. So I think we're 5-6 hours in. Marion, he had prayed and he cast the strong man Aaron into the pit. It wasn't some crazy miraculous feeling. There wasn't any ghost or smoke leaving my body or nothing crazy happening. I just remember just kind of having a big sigh. I remember just being at peace. We had an 1.5-hour drive back home. We were just shocked, surprised, couldn't even fathom what had just happened at this stranger's house. The true test, whether or not this had worked or that I was healed or set free from the oppression was when Sunday morning rolled around. My alarm goes off for church. I was going to lead worship that morning. I actually was able to wake up to my alarm, not waking up at 3 or 4 a.m., puking or dry heaving. I didn't feel sick, didn't feel nauseous, didn't feel anxious. I walked outside of my bedroom door and my mom was sitting on the floor outside my room. And she was waiting for me to wake up. I grabbed my mom and just started sobbing because I knew that I had been healed. I got in my car, went to church, led worship. That was about 12 years ago, and I have not thrown up a single day since. Having experienced that and having experienced God's healing, such a tangible, real thing that I could feel, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that God is real. It just really helped me to want to completely live my life for Him. I have a couple kids now, and people always say that when you have kids, you'll experience a love like you've never experienced in your life, and that's true. And for me, knowing that God loves immeasurably more than the love I have for my kids is mind-blowing. So I just want to say my time at Crossroads has been truly special. The love and support from the congregation to my family. I had my first kid at Crossroads. We had a daughter who only lived for a 1.5 weeks, and then now our sweet Grace is almost 10 months. It's been truly just a special place to be. I just want everyone to know how much I love you, how much I care about every single one of you, how much it has meant to me and my family, that you've always been there, always cared, and just continuing to watch God bless this congregation.